Донбасса обратились к России с просьбой о помощи. Мною принято решение о проведении специальной военной операции.
February 24, 2022. Before dawn, the world changed. Russian forces launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine, a so-called lightning war aimed at toppling the government and capturing Kiev within days. But what followed was far from a swift conquest. In the early hour of that morning, air raid sirens echoed across the capital. Families scrambled to shelters, highways clogged with the fleeing civilians, and a country of over 40 million people braced for a fight they never wanted but could not longer avoid. Kiev, the historic heart of Ukraine, both strategically vital and symbolically powerful, became a central target. Evacuation began not only from the capital, but from eastern cities near the Donbas, already scarred by years of conflict. What was meant to be a short campaign turned into a grinding, brutal war. A war that has disrupted lives, shattered cities, and claimed tens of thousands of lives.
One thing I've learned from my trip to Ukraine I did a couple months ago is that war didn't start in 2022 but in 2014. The Donbas and Crimean War wasn't really portrayed in the media, and that's why in 2022, when the full-scale invasion started, we thought that it was a new war, when in reality it was the continuation of another. European thinks that war has ended on our soil, when in reality it's been here since 15 to 10 years. And we thought that the use of war has ended, that democracy and diplomacy has ended everything. But in reality, that's not the case. The full-scale invasion made the Europeans remember that war isn't a thing that disappeared with time. It is always here. But the truth is that the full-scale invasion of Ukraine disrupted millions of lives, and within it, students. These young people that are just like us, live like us, study like us, will one day wake up by the sound of war and had to change everything. Today, they continue to live with the sound of war like a striped vinyl. Studying of the war is about resilience, memories, hope, but also bravery and friendship. This is the documentary of 5 interviews, 5 lives, 5 memories, and 5 voices that agreed to share their voice to the world. So please listen.
Or you can present yourself.
I'm Max, I'm 19. I study history and archaeology at the Dragamanov University. Lived in Germany for 7 years, came back here last September. Yeah.
Мене звати Катерина, мені 19 і я навчаюсь в Києво-Могилянській академії на міжнародних відносинах. Перший курс.
So, my name is Helena or Halia. I'm 22 years old and I finished my bachelor degree last year. I studied finance and insurance in the National University of Kyiv-Mogila Academy. And now I work in an IT company as a graphic designer.
My name is Ivan. I am second year student on master's program in Kyiv-Mogila Academy. I study finance and I studied finance on bachelor degree. Right now I'm working in Ukrainian firm, in Ukrainian financial firm, investment bank. I met the war in Kiev. I live in suburb and I woke up at 5 a.m. like others from explosions, and I understood that the war started. The next day I relocated to Lviv with my family and spent the first 3 months of the war in Lviv.
My name is Mike. My actual Ukrainian name is Mikhailo, but I prefer to introduce myself as Mike to English audience. I'm studying here for all my life since my childhood, and for my higher education I study physics, started as applied physics, now theoretical physics, doing PhD in astrophysics right now.
All right, so you're at university in Kiev.
Yeah.
And so how do you attend classes? So with the war, I mean, there's some bombings.
So
almost every week.
most of our classes are like every day. As usual, we go to the auditoriums, to the university, and everything is as normal. But when there's like an air raid, we just go to the shelter, or I mean, our classes of course get canceled during air raids, unfortunately. Sometimes they do get continued in the bomb shelter, but most of the time it's just like it's stopping. Sometimes those are online classes, depends on
Yeah.
the teacher really.
We have like an online format of education even before the full
really?
invasion started because of coronavirus.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Because like there were a high rate of people who were ill. Yeah. So it wasn't like stressful or some unexpectedly for me to continue studying like this online format,
Yeah.
online classes. But I guess that our government and university they like helped us a lot because they partnered with lots of educational platforms like Coursera, edX, or like
Yeah,
there are
all
lots
this
of them.
platform,
Yeah,
like,
so
help.
we can take like free courses and study it like independently. So yeah.
Я коли почалась повномасштабка, я була ще в школі, і ми мусили зупинятися, переривати уроки буквально кожну тривогу, навіть якщо це взліт міга. Це дуже часто міг не несе ніякої загрози, це просто взлітає літак. І по суті, це 2-3 години було тривоги. Зараз в університеті з цим трошки простіше, проте постійно також перериваються пари, ми постійно ходимо в укриття, обов'язково, навіть якщо у нас там іноді бувають онлайн-пари, то ми все одно зупиняємось і пари відбуваються, продовжуються пізніше.
All our education became online,
Okay.
and in general, it was not something new for us because we studied online during COVID.
Mhm.
And to be honest, during my studying on bachelor's degree, I visited uni maybe 4 or 5 times.
4 times, okay.
Yeah, I was studying completely online, and
Okay.
For the whole period of my bachelor degree, I was studying online.
So it didn't change.
Yeah, it's the changes wasn't very
On the course format.
yeah.
And so, did war change your way of living as a student, or like in terms of money wise, or just life in general? Did it impact you in your daily life?
I mean, yeah, for sure. I became a student during the war, so
Yeah.
I can compare and contrast. But I mean, of course, it impacts every single one of us. Like almost every day, you wake up with it, you go to bed thinking about it, and you just learn to cope with it as time goes on. And yeah, you have to live somehow. Well, me personally, with the nightlife and clubbing and drinking, I personally have stopped doing that.
Okay.
Just I can't allow myself to behave that way when like 700 kilometers from here, men my age are fighting on the front line. You know, it's our activities as students have changed quite a bit. Instead of partying, we go to ranges and we learn how to use a gun.
Yeah.
So
In case of meeting with people, living
And-
our everyday life, I think the probably biggest impact is that I started value more such kind of things because I saw how easy they can go away.
So your mentality changed with the war. You became more self-aware of what you have is really important, and you need to protect it and live your like life fully.
Yeah, absolutely. It reminded me about how much valuable are common things we used to take as granted, but I never do this anymore, and I think I will never do it in my life.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess like two main difference are the first one that lots of my friends and family they move to other countries, like move abroad because of war, and I feel really lonely here because I can only meet like my family, my parents, but lots of my friends were like in Germany, in Poland, in other countries, so it was really lonely. And the second difference is that is that I guess that earlier we can build like long-term spans for our life, like for our education, for our personal life, and so. But with the full invasion, when Russia invaded Ukraine, we like I understand that you never know like what you will be doing like in next 2 weeks or so. Whole prospect of my life has changed.
Добре. Я не відвідую такі різні тусовки, оскільки, ну, по-перше, мені не дуже цікаво, а по-друге, обмеження комендантської години, яка починається з 12 до 5 ранку. Тому навіть от, якщо мої друзі ходять на це, то це доволі обмежено. І щодо я для себе маю трошки інший вид відпочинку. Я волонтерю, я там спілкуюся з різними людьми, подорожую Україною, і насправді для мене це є більшим відпочинком.
Yeah, the changes were very strong, and at first maybe months during the first months of my life in Lviv, I felt a little bit lonely because all my friends relocated to completely different cities and even to completely different countries, and I was in Lviv only with my mother and a few people from my university whom I know maybe just a little bit, but
colleagues.
They were just my colleagues, but they helped me a lot, and I'm very happy that I met these people because they helped me to to go through this very hard period. And to be honest, one of these people is now is my girlfriend, and we began our communication in Lviv because we were volunteering together.
Okay.
We every day we visited local place in Lviv where we prepared special like equipment for Ukrainian army, like that. So we spent a lot of time together, and then we became closer.
Made a girlfriend. Yeah. And so did you start going out again, or you decided not to?
No, I started going out again, maybe in Kiev.
Okay. When you get back?
Yeah, when I came back, I started once again visiting some cafes, some restaurants, and so on. But even now, of course, my social life is not the same because there are less public events, less. We have to,
adapt it.
Yeah, we have to adapt, and we have to continue our lives because.
It's important.
Yeah, it's important, and you can help Ukrainian army in different ways.
Yeah,
you can donate.
Definitely.
You can
building drones.
Something
send
like that.
money.
Of course,
fundraising.
Of course.
Yeah. Do you think there is a psychological impact on students and you in particular, or it's just like the vibe that just that the student confronts?
There's a psychological impact for sure, and every single Ukrainian, like everyone has probably trauma in some way or the other. Just a matter of the extent of the trauma on every single one of us. But again, I think our brains just like switch out at some point because we constantly live in this like a certain level of stress that you just learn to cope with it and don't really feel it anymore. But yeah, I think it definitely has an impact.
Yeah. So did you feel a psychological impact on your studies with the war, including like stress or maybe PTSD from the bombings, or even friends going to war, or just directly friends or family?
Yeah, of course. I felt very strong psychological breakdown, like maybe all my friends. because my father stayed in Kiev, and we didn't understand what will happen to our city because Russians tried to occupy it, and in general, of course, it was the pressure was very high. Also, my very good friend went to armed forces, and he spent 2.5 months in armed forces of Ukraine. He was defending Kiev, and after Russians went from the Kiev, he moved to Rivne, and then he moved back to Kiev.
Okay. The war, you were lonely, but at the same time, there was a community building around
Of course.
helped. I guess it helped you, but also the other people getting around and now having girlfriends.
Yeah, the community was absolutely perfect,
Yeah.
and they helped with everything. They helped with the flats. They helped with some household items, and they were all the time they were close to us and they helped us. And maybe after the first month, I felt that like I am at home. I'm in Ukraine. Yes, I'm in different city, but this city is my second home, and I felt much better.
Oh, that's very interesting. Okay, so you feel a psychological impact behind it. So how did you manage it yourself?
Для мене і моєї сім'ї, ну, насправді це величезний виклик. Звісно, дуже важко не бачити одну з найближчих людей в своєму житті доволі довго. Попри це, знову ж таки, навчання, все своє життя ти плануєш з розрахунку на те, що може бути тривога, а сьогодні вночі може прилетіти, ти не висипаєшся, ти постійно живеш в цьому стресі і постійно плани вони відкладаються. Якщо пари переносяться, то переноситься все життя, тому що ти розраховуєш на навчання ввечері, а там тривога. Ну, коротше, це насправді воно так перевертає твоє життя з голови на ноги. Це постійно якась... Ти постійно живеш в якомусь перманентному сумі, оскільки ти знаєш багато знайомих, які служать, або знайомих, які служать, і дуже часто це і смерті, і травмування, і контекст, в якому ми живемо, це постійний стрес і сум.
And so in terms of administration and studying in university, how did Ukrainian university adapt to the war? Like you talked about shelters, so how does it go?
Well, I think it really depends on the university. If it's a good university with good funding and it's responsible for its students, not like my university, they adapt very well. For instance, the Kyiv Mahila Academy over there, one of the oldest in Ukraine, they're fully energy independent. Like they have their own generators, and because like during the winter there have been quite a lot of energy cuts. So some universities adapt to it, some just transfer to online classes, such as we did for the winter, because the heating was too expensive and we didn't really have enough energy. But really depends on the uni. In our case, it could have been done better, but with the resources it had, I think it did an all right job.
And do you think it's gonna be better like with time, or it's gonna stay the same until the war's over?
Well, it really depends on the outcome of the war and what happens next. I think it's getting better over time because we have new technologies, they're getting more available, and I think we will evolve and prevail and adapt to the new setting and the new environment and continue our studies.
Okay. Professor, he also went to frontline as a doctor, and it was quite a strange for me to still like continue our classes when he is there.
Yeah.
Like he make some lectures for us and
Online when he was
yeah,
on.
yeah.
Wow.
And like you are attending a lecture and he tells you something, and then in the background, like in the back, there's the sounds of explosions and the rockets,
Wow,
and
that's
you're just like,
intense.
wow, okay, okay, should I worry or not?
Yeah, that's intense. And how did your university reacted? So was the transition smooth in terms, because it was like back, COVID was 1 year ago, so you just went back quite quickly to online?
Yeah.
Or did it take time? And yeah.
It's mostly well established, so we quickly get back online as soon as we understood in which situation we are. Of course, first few days, weeks, most things got cancelled, but after that, re-established quite quickly.
And how do you see the government approach on the students? So how did you felt the help from the government, like maybe for relocating to Lviv, send money, I think like some money to the relocated people?
I felt a lot of help from my company where I worked. I worked in Deloitte. It's a company of it's called Big Four of finance, and they helped us financially. They funded generators when we had electricity shortages and so on. So I felt a lot of help from my company, and I felt a lot of effort from my university. Kyiv Academy is a state-owned university, and they developed plenty of international mobility programs. And a lot of my friends traveled abroad. They visited top international universities. I had to study in the University of Toronto for
nice.
3 months, but unfortunately I couldn't cross the border because because I'm a guy. And Kyiv Academy prepared all the documents. We had agreement from Zaluzhny. He was like the general of Ukrainian army at that moment, but unfortunately it was not enough to cross the border. But a lot of people used this possibility, and they were very happy because it was a really nice university. It wasn't just like tier 3 university or something like that. It was tier 1 university, University of Toronto, Bocconi, and so on.
It's a really high, good.
It's top international university.
Ну, держава оберігає нас в контексті того, що є розпорядження від різних міністерств про те, що навчання має бути зупинене, коли це тривога, або перенесене, або відбуватися в укритті. Якщо стосовно підтримки сімей, які зараз, чиї родичі зараз служать, то це різні стипендії, допомога в фінансовому плані. Ось так.
Did you have dreams before the war happened, like when you were in high school in Germany, like to come back, study here? And if you had, did those dreams change, and how did it change?
No, originally I planned to study there, abroad. I mean, because of the quality of education is probably definitely much better there. Maybe with some exceptions here, but yeah, I didn't plan to come back to Ukraine, and when I did plan, I didn't plan to study here. It was more of a spontaneous
thought.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And how did you engage with that thought? What was the thing that made you, I want to go back?
It was a long process. I wouldn't say there was like an instant that I'm going back. It was just piling up that you feel responsibility as a Ukrainian to do something for your country, and whether you're abroad, whether you're here, whether you're fighting on the front line, whether it's just like whether you're studying in the university, you find ways to help it. Like a lot of my friends make drones, we make bombs for the drones, and you find a way to be useful. And
So you?
Probably the most obvious one is I planned a little trip to Europe in summer. I finally, after a lot of years of like different living situation, I was in a position where I can afford it both financially and personally, in terms of time and effort. But unfortunately, I wasn't managed to do it because border was closed for men for living, and yeah, it's mostly around trips. As a young scholar, I wanted also to visit some scientific conferences, maybe find some master's program abroad, but unfortunately it got cancelled. But that's not a really big loss in a big picture.
Yeah, okay.
Not really some dreams that are like connected to my study or education. Mostly of them were like just about my personal life. Like I dream to visit lots of Ukrainian cities, like Kharkiv or somewhere else. But with the full invasion, I decided that it is quite dangerous. And also, I wanted like to study in foreign universities too. But when I had this like choice to stay here in Kyiv or to go abroad, I definitely feel like fear and maybe guilty if I go there like for with my family. Like I wouldn't. I know that I will feel bad there living there.
Yeah.
And so these dreams they were unrealistic, I guess.
To go abroad
and study there.
And
but I'm not regretting it now. Like
you could do it like later in the master or something.
It's definitely totally. Like I'm just quite changed my mind there, and so I understand that if there will be possibility for me in the future, I definitely will do it later. So I'm happy where now.
In general, I have a dream to study once on MBA program, but it wasn't a question of the nearest years, and right now it's not the situation haven't changed, because MBA program is something you can visit and you can afford after maybe building your career. So right now I'm focusing on building my career, on earning money, and then I will visit MBA, and it's my goal, it's my dream, and I'm sure that I will achieve it.
Okay.
Я була справді дуже маленькою, коли почалась війна, і для мене загалом доросле життя воно виглядало геть по-іншому, як зараз, будучи вже в більш дорослому віці, я його сприймаю. Звісно, я там думала, що я поїду за кордон навчатися, я буду подорожувати, тусити, гуляти. Насправді я і зараз маю на це можливість, проте я обираю свідомо бути тут, залишатися тут і бути дотичною до своєї країни, волонтерити, якось розвивати зсередини країну. Тому я справді обрала це свідомо і не хочу змінювати, навіть попри те, що в мене є можливості. І для мене це зараз є мрією створити країну, на яку будуть рівнятися. Тобто мати стабільну країну і весь розвиток для неї. Тож явно з того часу мої пріоритети кардинально змінилися. Ось так.
As we've seen, Ukrainian youth is not only dreaming of a brighter future, but also working towards it. In most cases, war creates a gap in education level across generations. But for students, war doesn't stop them, and most of young Ukrainians are willing to accept the risk of the war if that means staying in Ukraine, in their own country. It's through their existence and action that Ukraine faces Russia today, partly because of their efforts to help their country to win this war. And it acts every day to build a future that looks like them, a more fair and peaceful one.
guns. You're the velvet of plains. You're the build all the bums. You're behind walls. You're behind desks. I just want you to know I can't see through your mess. You're the never done nothing, but built to destroy. You play with my world.